Welcome to the Pride Channel, your home for all things queer news, history, and pop culture. If you've spent any time in LGBTQ plus spaces, you've probably heard people casually describe themselves or their friends as twinks, bears, otters, daddies, and a whole host of other colorful labels. These terms have become a playful part of queer culture, helping people describe certain looks, personalities, or vibes. They're not strict categories, and most people don't fit neatly into just one. In fact, a lot of queer people spend their lives bouncing between several of them. What makes these stereotypes fun is that they aren't usually taken too seriously. They're part community shorthand, part inside joke, and part celebration of the incredible variety that exists within LGBTQ plus culture. So with that in mind, let's explore some of the most recognizable gay stereotypes and some celebrities who are often associated with them.
Yes, and then I did a very, very beautiful photo shoot for a very cool fashion-y magazine, and it exploited the social media, went crazy.
The twink.
The songs are about my relationship with past boyfriends, current boyfriend, that sort of thing. So it is nice to have that sort of support.
The twink is probably the most famous gay archetype. Traditionally, twinks are youthful-looking, slim, stylish, energetic, and often clean-shaven. They tend to be portrayed as social butterflies who somehow know every nightclub opening, every pop music release, and every piece of celebrity gossip before anyone else. Some celebrities commonly associated with the twink aesthetic include Troye Sivan, Omar Apollo, Lil Nas X, Jonathan Bailey in his younger years, Kevin McHale, and Noah Schnapp. The running joke within queer culture is that every twink eventually wakes up one day and discovers they've evolved into an otter, daddy, or gym enthusiast. The bear.
I'm not a vampire. I long to be a vampire, so I actually do whatever it takes to please my master.
Bears are often larger-bodied, hairy, rugged, and associated with a relaxed masculine energy. The bear community developed as an alternative to narrow beauty standards and has become one of the most welcoming and celebrated subcultures within LGBTQ plus life. Celebrities often associated with bear energy include Harvey Guillen, Zach Galifianakis, Nick Offerman, David Harburg, and Dan Fogler. The stereotype says that every bear owns at least one flannel shirt and secretly wishes they lived in a cabin in the woods.
For the purposes of this experiment, I will just give you a normal day when I would go work at my wood shop.
The otter.
How do I celebrate 40? Okay, so I woke up. Thank God.
Always a good sign.
Started with that, which was great.
Yeah, that's always a...
I journaled a little bit on my laptop.
Oh.
Otters are often described as lean bears. They tend to be slim or athletic while still being notably hairy. They occupy the space between twink and bear and are frequently considered one of the most sought-after archetypes in gay culture. Examples frequently cited include Jonathan Groff, Ben Whishaw, Murray, Bartlett, Russell Tovey, and Lee Pace. The otter stereotype suggests a person who somehow looks like they hike every weekend despite never actually mentioning hiking.
What? Sorry, I just want to tell you that Mr. Patton from the Palm Suite wants to talk to you.
Are you kidding me?
The daddy.
Singing with her in Cocomel, and then she goes, no, no, daddy, no, stop. And I'm like, let me sing, I want to sing. No, daddy, no. So she doesn't let me sing.
The daddy category has very little to do with being someone's father and everything to do with confidence, maturity, charisma, and authority. A daddy doesn't necessarily have gray hair. They're simply someone who exudes self-assurance. Popular examples include Anderson Cooper, Matt Bomer, Coleman Domingo, Ricky Martin, Cheyenne Jackson, Luke Evans, and John Barrowman. A daddy doesn't chase trends. Trends chase him.
It's such a wild and crazy and beautiful show. And everyone wants their show.
The silver fox.
And then guys would call us saying, how come you're not calling me? So suddenly now we have dinner for 40 all the time.
A silver fox is essentially a daddy whose gray hair has become part of the appeal. These are the people who prove that aging can be incredibly attractive. Examples include Anderson Cooper, George Clooney, Pedro Pascal, John Slattery, Eric McCormack, and Victor Garber. The silver fox stereotype basically argues that gray hair is not a bug, it's a feature. The jock.
Hard, working to encourage young people to live their life honestly.
The jock is athletic, sporty, competitive, and often very fitness-focused. Historically, gay men were often excluded from sports culture, making openly LGBTQ+ athletes especially important figures. Examples include Tom Daley, Gus Kenworthy, Adam Rippon, and Carl Nassib. Jocks are often portrayed as people who somehow turn every conversation into a discussion about training schedules.
Wouldn't take this off.
Can you hold this, dear? Okay.
The theater gay.
Here you are 20 years ago. There's your first. There's your first. There you are.
Yeah!
Yes.
The theater gay can identify a Broadway song before the opening note has even finished playing. They have strong opinions on casting, choreography, and whether a revival was truly necessary. Examples include Jonathan Groff, Billy Porter, and Titus Burgess. If a theater gay says they're only going to sing one song from a musical, prepare for a full concert.
Work! The fit out that started all the conversation.
The fashion gay.
I was trying to get my idea out. I still am like that.
Fashion gays often seem to know what's trending 6 months before everyone else. They understand silhouettes, fabrics, designers, and somehow make outfits look effortless. Examples include Tan France, Billy Porter, Law Roach, Christian Siriano, Marc Jacobs, and Jeremy O. Harris. The stereotype suggests they can judge your entire life story from your choice of footwear.
Something as stupid as like 2 of Cartman's toys tattooed on like a fashion designer, someone who's supposed to be an arbiter of taste. Anyway, they made me into a character, so that was the last thing I had tattooed.
The himbo.
If I'll ever do another Thor film, where would you go? I feel like I've been lucky enough to play different versions of the character each time, and if I was to do it again, I'd love to drastically change it and do something that was very unexpected.
The himbo is handsome, lovable, kind-hearted, enthusiastic, and occasionally a little clueless. The key ingredient is not stupidity, it's overwhelming positive energy. Examples include Chris Hemsworth, Joe Locke in Fan Discussions, Channing Tatum, John Cena, Alan Ritchson, and Glenn Powell. The himbo's greatest strength is being impossible to dislike.
Sat in the corner. I was just like, I'm good. I'm like, you got this. And like, I'm just like, it all swims in my eyes. I get dyslexia, and I'm just like, you got it, guys.
The geek gay.
Who is your favorite Real Housewife of all time?
Of all time?
Yeah,
of
hard.
all time.
It's really hard.
Dolores Catania.
Dolores?
Yeah, from New Jersey.
Why?
Because when I watch her, she takes me home.
Geek gays are passionate about comics, fantasy, gaming, science fiction, anime, and every fandom imaginable. They can explain 20 years of lore that nobody asked about and somehow make it fascinating. Examples include Bowen Yang, George Takei, Will Wheaton, and Taran Killam. Every geek gay has at least one fandom that has completely taken over their personality.
And I said, good morning. And he says, you have a deep voice. A voice like that must have a big dong below.
The muscle gay.
Polyamorous, some people think, just means having group sex, but that's not what this is.
It's the ability to create space for more than one person at any given point.
The muscle gay is dedicated to fitness, gym culture, and physical transformation. Their social media feeds often feature workouts, meal plans, and motivational posts. Examples often cited include Nico Tortorella, Luke Evans, Gus Kenworthy, Cheyenne Jackson, and Ricky Martin. The stereotype claims that muscle gays can estimate protein content with the accuracy of a laboratory scientist.
I feel like a schoolgirl. I just feel giddy.
Are you supposed to do this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
How handsome is he? How handsome.
What makes these stereotypes endure is that they're usually rooted in affection. They're less about putting people into boxes and more about celebrating the incredible variety within queer culture. In reality, most LGBTQ+ people are a mix of several categories at once. A person can be a geeky theater daddy, a fashionable otter, a muscular bear, or a twink who secretly loves camping. The labels may be silly, but they help tell a bigger story. Queer culture has always found creative ways to build community, share humor, and celebrate individuality. And honestly, half the fun is arguing about which celebrity belongs in which category.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go home and pick up my bag, and I'll see you in a bit.
That's it, signing off the internet. Close his laptop.
Thanks for watching the Pride Channel, where queer voices, history, and pop culture take center stage. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload. And let us know your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear from you. Until next time, stay proud and stay loud.